Hello there ladies and gents, how you all doing, and welcome back to the Villagecraft server. Yes, we're back over at our base area as we're going to be doing something over here today. But I hope you all enjoyed the last episode. If you haven't seen it, I really recommend you go and have a check out of it, because we did the tour of the whole Villagecraft server. That's right, we went and checked out everybody's bases, including the community area. We started at spawn with Swan's attempt. He's currently in the process of building an iron farm. And we did the whole tour using the shaders mod, well, at least in the overworld anyway. Yeah, when we got into the nether, the shaders were a bit too dark and we couldn't see a thing. So I turned the shaders off for when we was in the nether. But I really hope you did enjoy that, guys. If you are enjoying this season so far, please be sure to hit that like button, show your support. It really helps out more than you know. I mean, it doesn't help out money-wise because I don't get monetized. I'm not little. Yes, I'm only a little guy. But it really helps out the channel. But anyway, without further ado, let's get on with today's project. So yes, today's project, folks, as you can see over here, we are at the spire that is to the northeast of our base. As you can see, I've actually gone and built a kind of like a pedestal. That's because today, folks, we're going to be finally getting around to setting up our own enchanting area. But we're not just setting up a small room or something in the main base area. Oh no, we're going to build a witch's tower. That's right, this is going to be a tower that rises up from the spire, and it's only actually going to be accessible via our nether portal system. At least at the moment it is. Who knows, we may end up putting a little bit of a bridge over here, but for now it's just going to be a giant tower that goes all the way up. I think it's about 50 blocks high, I think. So yeah, it's quite a large build. But I'm going to crack on with this. There is quite a lot of white concrete involved in this, as is the norm with our base. So I've had to go and produce quite a bit of that, which means that my sand supplies have run low. However, luckily, I think it's Swan is actually selling sand and gravel over in the community area. So I've been taking advantage of his shop and purchasing quite a lot of sand. I think last time I was over there I actually bought out all of the sand that he had. So without further ado, folks, let's roll a little bit of a time lapse and we'll get the first stage of this tower built. Well, there we are, folks. That is the Witch's Tower all done. So I shall see you later. Nah, I'm only kidding, guys. That is just the basic shape of the Witch's Tower done now. What we have to do now is we've got to go through and put in quite a lot of detail. Then once the detail's done, we need to move the nether portal from down in the pedestal down there up into one of those side towers that you saw being built. The one up at the top. Yes, at the rear. That's going to be holding the nether portal. But we'll probably do that as one of the last things. What I'm going to do now is I've got quite a bit of detail to put in. Instead of having all white concrete, we're going to be putting in some of Jeff's favourite blocks. That's right, the diorite. We're going to be mixing that up with some polished diorite just to break up those white surfaces.
No, 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 no. That is not happening. You really think you can defeat me?
Excuse me, Jeff. Thank you. Sorry about that, folks. Yeah. Anyway, Jeff, it has happened. So, yes, there is diorite in our build. Haha. So, yeah, as you can see, folks, I have gone and got the detail work done now. Broken up all of that white concrete with the polished diorite. And I'm quite liking it. Yes, I've also gone and put some windows in. You can't actually see anything in that tower because there is nothing in there. That's just some black concrete to give the effect of shadow. We've gone and got some of our flag streamers on top. Now, this tower to the side. I was trying to think what we could use for it. I'm thinking that's full of some sort of magical essence that all the witches use. Because this, of course, is a witch's tower. It is their home. They stay up there. And yeah, that's just something, a bit of a lore that I thought maybe we should go with it. You can tell I've been playing modding quite a bit using the essence. But yes, so what we need to do now is up in this room up there, we need to get a couple of witches in there. That's right. In fact, let me just go show you where we're going to be putting them. In fact, if we come through this portal here that used to lead to the base of the spire, you will see that it now leads up into the side tower that we have here. Yep, there we are. So there's the portal in there. You come across and we have our enchanting set up. So we now have somewhere to do our enchants rather than having to go all the way to the ender. Now, of course, this is the top of the tower. And the witches are going up there. Now, those blocks aren't floating. They are, in fact, on top of some glass. Because we're going to have a couple of witches walking around up there. Just so when we're up here, all we can hear is that constant yeah. So that is where the witches for the witches tower is going to be. And we do actually have a couple of witches trapped just over yonder, over that way. In fact, we have the witches just over here. Well, we have one of them in here. Can you hear her? Now, is she going to show me a name? Because they are named. Yep. Granny Weatherwax. Bonus points. Oh. You better not just poison yourself, Missy. She better not die. Is she going to die? Granny? Is she drinking the potion? Yeah, she's alright. Yeah, so we have Granny Weatherwax in there. Now, she was easy to catch. The one that wasn't quite as easy to catch is, can you see, just over there, there was a glowstone block. Yeah, there was a hole underneath there. And in that is Nanny Og. So, yes, we have Nanny Og and Granny Weatherwax. Bonus points to anyone who can tell me where I got those names from. But for now, what we need to do is they both have some minecart tracks underneath them. We need to run these minecarts all the way up there. Yeah, all the way up there. So I'll see you guys in a little while. Alright, well, welcome back. I now have all of the track laid out. That comes from Nanny Og, just over in that direction somewhere, and comes along and goes all the way up to there. Yeah, I know, Pat. Let's build a giant witch's tower. And then let's decide to put 2 witches in the very top room. Yeah, great idea that was. Anyway, we have Granny Weatherwax in here. We have a minecart track set up. Without further ado, let's see if we can pick her up. Hopefully we've got her. Yes, we have. And off she goes. And away she goes. Now I do have my camera count up in the top there, so we can check to make sure that she goes in. Oh, she's now rendered out. Going along. Hopefully she should be going along the top. I can now see her on my camera count. She is along the track there. Going along, along. Coming up to the corner. Going down. Going along the track there. She is now coming up to the tower. And she is in. Fantastic. Now, of course, we will have to go in and get her out of the minecart, but we'll do that later on. And now it's time to go get Nanny Og. Well, we managed to get Nanny Og moved up into the witch's cell. I managed to get both her and Granny Weatheraxe knocked out of their minecarts, and then my computer decided to have a fit. Yeah, I had to do a manual restart, which was rather scary to say the least. But it does mean that I have actually lost that footage, and I'm not doing it all again just to get it on camera. But there we are. We can see the 2 witches up there. Can't see the name tags because of the glass, but still, we know we have Nanny Og and Granny Weatheraxe up there. And don't forget, folks, bonus points in the comments if you can tell me where I got those names from. But yeah, there we are, folks. We have our witches in the witch's tower, and you know what, folks, I am really chuffed with this. Let's just jump up here so we can get out, have a quick flyby, so we can see this tower in all of its glory, because I'm rather chuffed with this, folks. So we now have an enchanting station of our very own without having to go all the way into the end. Obviously we still need to go to the end to get some levels, but still, now we can come home and do our own enchanting. Fantastic. But you know what, folks, I think we're going to call it a day there. Thank you very much for joining me on this episode. If you have enjoyed this episode, and if you've enjoyed the season so far, please go ahead and smash that like button. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to click subscribe and ring that bell as well, so you get notified when all the new videos come out. But until next time, folks, this is PaternoX saying take it easy, and I will see you all in the next episode. Bye, guys. Bye. Woohoo!